Most of you are familiar with the concept of inheriting money or land, maybe even furniture, a pet, an antique car. Some of us inherit something darker. Some of us inherit something we can't escape from, something that follows us even after we've gone. In my family's case, we inherited a house that ruins lives. This isn't just a ghost story. This is about a home that has haunted my family for generations, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And the worst part, it all started long before I was even born. My grandfather, Walter, always said our family home in upstate New York was once full of joy. People used to gather for big Thanksgiving dinners, backyard barbecues, neighborhood block parties, you name it. But everything changed the day my great-grandmother, Hazel, found something strange on the roof. It was a handmade doll, wrapped in barbed wire, with pins stuck in its face and a noose tied around its neck. It was creepy as hell, like something out of a horror movie. They threw it away, of course, unaware that it would change everything. That day, things started to go wrong. Years passed. The weirdness faded into the background, till one day, tragedy struck. My biological grandmother, Annie, set herself on fire. Right there in the kitchen, she doused herself in lighter fluid and lit a match. No one knows exactly why, but people whispered that she couldn't handle the pressure of being a mother to 3 daughters and no son. Back then, in certain circles, that still carried weight. No one talks about it now, but I found the truth hidden in old family documents, buried in a dusty storage chest up in the attic. After Annie died, my grandfather remarried a woman named Sharon. She eventually gave birth to a son, my Uncle Matt. And when Matt was born, a local preacher warned the family. This boy was born under a bad sign. If you don't cleanse this house properly, someone close will die. They did everything the preacher said. K-circles, blessings, Bible readings. It didn't work. My mom's younger brother Sharon's only child died suddenly in a car crash less than a year later. He was only 33, newly married, no kids. From there, it was like the house began devouring people. My grandparents, who had been married for over 4 decades, suddenly split. No explanation. They just couldn't be in the same house anymore. A young couple renting the upstairs unit. One of them took his life, himself from a ceiling fan. My Aunt Matt's sister attempted suicide twice. I was the one who found her both times. It's a memory I wish I could forget. She survived, but she's still haunted by it. Even our family dog died out of nowhere. No illness, no injury, just collapsed on the kitchen floor. And when I moved into that house for college, I started spiraling. Depression, panic attacks, insomnia, nightmares, every single night. It took me 2 years to feel like myself again. And that wasn't even the worst part. There were times I would wake up in the middle of the night and hear whispers coming from downstairs. I lived alone in that house. I swear to God, I wasn't dreaming. Times I would wake up underneath the dining table. I didn't sleepwalk. I'd never done that in my life. But somehow, I woke up right under the same spot where my grandmother Annie had burned herself. That's when I started looking for answers. I scoured through old yearbooks, asked relatives I barely knew, tried contacting my biological grandmother's friends. All I got was dead ends and pity. Eventually, I had to accept the fact that I may never know what truly happened. Tucked in a dusty wooden trunk in the attic, I found old photos of Annie. Until that moment, I'd always believed Sharon was my real grandmother. Turns out, I never even knew who Annie really was. That night, I stared at her photo for too long. And that same night, I heard the whisper again. Jake, my body went ice cold. I ran out of the house, barefoot, into the snow-covered yard. Everyone else was on the patio. No one had been inside with me. I looked at my family standing in the moonlight and realized none of them heard it. None of them except me. For years, I tried explaining what I heard. I told them it sounded like someone was right behind me, whispering my name. but no one believed me. You're stressed, Jake. It was probably just a dream. One day, I was rummaging through my late grandmother Sharon's belongings. I found a stack of letters inside a Bible. They were love letters sent to her by my uncle. He must have written them right before he passed away. And in these letters, he wrote about hearing the same voice, the same one that called my name. He wrote about seeing shadows in the corner of his eye. He wrote about feeling like someone was reaching for him from the darkness. I was shocked. Someone else heard it too. And it wasn't a dream. Whatever was in that house wasn't finished with us yet. Years later, I overheard a conversation between my mom and my aunt. They were both talking about the day they gave birth years apart, different hospitals, different states. But both saw the same horrifying thing. A woman, long black braids, pale skin, nails like claws, just lying beside them in bed. They were completely frozen, couldn't move, couldn't scream. Both described it the same exact way, and they both swore to God it wasn't a dream. Then one day, while I was browsing through old photos, I came across one I had never seen before. It was taken at my aunt's baby shower. Standing next to the pregnant woman was the same woman from my dreams, the one with the braids, standing right behind my aunt. And then I knew that same woman had visited me in my dreams. She was the one who whispered my name. She was the reason people lost their minds. She was the reason my family fell apart. The picture still hangs in the hallway. Nothing about it is meant to be creepy. She's just sitting on a porch, holding a cup of tea. But something's wrong. Her eyes seem to follow you, no matter where you stand. You feel it, like she's watching, not from the picture, but through it. Everyone avoids that hallway now, walk around it, even during the day. One time, a pastor came over, walked straight down that hallway and stared directly at the picture. Her spirit never moved on. She's here attached to someone still living, okay? And honestly, I think I know who that someone is, okay? There's a little girl in our family, my cousin's daughter, Kless Lily. Sweet kid, smart, but from a young age, she acted in ways that scared the hell out of me. There were things I saw, things no child should be doing, obsessions, hidden behaviors. I won't go into the details. I don't want to relive it, but whatever was inside that house, it lives in her now. Eventually, the house turned into a war zone. People stopped speaking. Screaming matches became the norm. Family who once laughed together now hate each other. We used to sip coffee in the garden, make fun of Uncle Dave's bad jokes, play board games in the basement. Mount, we can't even sit at the same table. I got dragged into a domestic violence lawsuit I had nothing to do with. Just guilt by association. The house has been empty for years. It's locked up, cold. Still, we're trying to sell it, but no buyer ever sticks around. Every real estate deal falls through. Something always happens. And now it's tied up in legal hell. But sometimes when I drive by, I still hear it. That same whisper. Jake, I don't know if it was cursed or if someone did something to summon this darkness. All I know is that house took everything from us. Love, sanity, trust. And some nights I wonder, what if it's still not done?